We had a chance to catch up with Keith over here at Metro Toyota. He's the fixed ops director. And Keith, how long have you been with Metro?
Almost 20 years now.
20 years. So tell us, how did you get into automotive? How did you decide to come to Metro? Tell us.
That's a long story. I had absolutely no thought of getting into automotive.
Sure.
Actually, it was my parents were really good friends with another dealer, and I had sent him my resume thinking he might forward it to somebody else, and he called me and said, well, why don't you come sell cars? I said, you got to be kidding me. And then he said, well, you can make about $55,000. And this was 20 years ago. And
Sure.
I said, I'll be right down. So that's where I started and was in variable for about 20 years. And
Sure.
5 years ago, came down to the service department.
That's great. Well, it's not very often where you see someone make that transition from variable over to fixed just like you did.
Right.
Nonetheless, someone with your level of success in fixed now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. One of the things I noticed when we were walking through your store through the bays is you really have a good connection with your people in the bays.
Yeah.
And what would you say about the relationship you have with everybody here, and why is that so important to you?
Well, I think it's something you can never take for granted.
Sure.
Because what you saw today isn't a given tomorrow.
Sure.
And I think you just have to keep your eye on maintaining that relationship, saying hello, how we doing, how's your family. It's not all about business. This is a people business, you know, and without a great team, we have nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
But culture is not something you did. It's something you keep growing.
Yeah, that you create on a continual basis.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's very clear. So one thing that we say at ASOTU is love people more than you love cars, and it's very clear that you do.
Because I'm not a car guy. I still have never changed oil on even a lawnmower. So I kind of view them. I kind of this is the appliance center.
Sure.
They're all the same. So
yeah. That's great. So also, if someone was just starting in automotive, whether it's in the service side or on the variable side, what kind of advice would you give them to be successful?
Show up on time.
Yeah.
Listen.
Sure.
I think listening is a bit of a lost art at times.
Yeah.
And frankly, early in my sales career, I probably didn't learn that lesson, but I quickly did.
Yeah.
Listen, actively pursue training. Every opportunity you can, and if you're not getting the opportunity, go find it.
Yeah.
Go create it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many resources available now.
Yeah.
Whether it's online, YouTube, sky's the limit. You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Keith, also the culture here at Denoyer is so clearly different than a lot of other dealerships. I'm lucky because I get to go in a lot of great ones across the nation all the time.
Sure.
But this is not very common to have a family-owned dealership like this that is so invested in their staff. So that is so clear.
Right.
It clearly is going on here at Denoyer. What is it about the Denoyer family that makes them different than other dealers here locally in Kalamazoo?
Well, the family cares dearly for every employee and every customer. I mentioned to you earlier, I've seen the Denoyers do extraordinary things for strangers and customers and their own employees that they're not seeking recognition for it. They're just seeking to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that golden rule is where it all starts here.
Yeah, that's great. Clearly you guys are doing stuff different here. It's clear that you and a lot of people here at the Denoyer Family Automotive Group love people more than they love cars. So Keith, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day and sharing some of your story.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for watching this episode of In the Dirt with ASOTU. If you're new to our channel, make sure and mash that like and subscribe button. Also, check out some of these links for our other great podcasts and content.